Well, welcome everybody. Today's interview is Arun and Richard, and they're going to discuss their conference. This is going to be highly engaging and participatory. My name is Lucas Chaffee, north of New York City, about 20 miles. I'm a software engineer and an open space facilitator. We can quickly go around the room, and anybody who'd like to introduce themselves can do so, and we'll make sure that we get to all your questions. So I'll turn it over first to all of our guests today. So everyone that is on the team of Arun and Richard or is a guest here, and then we'll turn it over to Arun and Richard.
Right, thank you, Lucas. So, Axel, would you like to go in first, and then?
Yeah. So my interest is for using the technology for both open space, maybe events, but I'm interested more in comparing different platforms for different kind of online events that I'm thinking of, and also for cohort-based instructional courses. And I think it brings together a number of features that I like, and it looks all right. So that is so I'm interested in your experience and how you've organized things.
Right, thank you. Yes, thanks. David.
Yes, thank you, Arun. Yes, I'm Irish, but I'm based in the north of France, in Arras. And I've been working now for 20 years with business people. And in the last few weeks, like the entire planet has been adapting their activity to online. So I've just finished an online distance facilitation training. So really intrigued to see how you can transpose open space into a virtual environment. There you go.
Right, thank you. Thank you. Yes. Okay, Sumuk and others, everyone else, please share.
I'll go in now. So my name is Sumuk. I am a student in Pune, India. So I worked as a technical team member, volunteered for technical team member for the ETST conference 2020. That's it, my introduction.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Avanti, and please carry on, others. Avanti, Varad, Reva.
So may I?
Yeah, please.
No, you can't. So actually, I'm just with my friends. I'm sorry for that. So
Okay.
my name is Varad Dharmadhikari, and I was a part of the ETST technical team, and it was great working with the QiqoChat platform and Richard sir as well. And all.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Reva, Avanti.
Hey everyone,
Then we can
it is Reva here, Reva Gandhi. So even I am from Pune, India, and so even I got the opportunity to work as a member of the tech team for the ETST conference, and it was really an enriching journey. We got to learn so many new things. We got to learn QiqoChat. I mean, it is so wonderful to see such a platform and to meet so many new interesting people. So I'm really thankful to everyone. Yeah, that's my introduction.
Thank you, Reva.
Okay, I'll go in next.
Avanti. Yeah, sure, Avanti.
Okay, I'm Avanti Kulkarni from Pune. Like all my friends, I've been a part of the tech team for ETST conference.
Okay.
This conference was basically a long process where we learn things and interacted with people.
Right. Thank you, Avanti. And Sandra, hearty welcome.
Hello.
Would you like to share about yourself, please?
My name is Sandra Rauerke-Grillich. I'm from Austria, living near Vienna, working for the Austrian Ministry for Public Affairs. And I was informed by one of our out of hosting trainers about the meeting. And
Okay.
thank you for sharing your information with me. I'm
Thank
curious.
you. Thank you. Thank
Happy
you
to be
very
here.
much. Thank you, Sandra.
And Arun,
Yes.
if I may, I want
yes.
to make sure that I filter out all the questions that are specific about QiqoChat and technical questions that are about the platform. We can get to those at the end if we have time. I really want to make sure today's questions are about how the process of facilitation for our hosts, what they were thinking, what they experienced, what participants experienced. So everyone who has questions, you could type them into the Zoom chat, or you can put them into QiqoChat on the notes page. If there's any technical questions about the platform and how you turn this on or that on, then I can answer those and keep those to the side so we can focus on the experience of our hosts today. So.
Right. Thank you. Thank you, Lucas. And just before I hand it over to Richard, Avanti or Reva, could you just call Malati madam, please, and just help her to get into the main room? Just give her a call and kindly help her. Yeah,
Yes,
thanks.
sir.
That's what they did in the conference also, and I'll come to that. Richard. Yes.
Yeah, it's nice to see the tech team engaged once again to get participants in the room, and we had just a marvelous experience of them doing that. I'm Richard Schultz, and I'm coming to you from Atlantic Canada on the coast right now. I've hung my hat in Calgary for many years, and I'm out here now. I've been an open space facilitator for 20 years, and I was an early adopter at looking at how to put open space technology online. So I started about 8 years ago in a product called Blackboard, then did some conferences in Zoom a few years ago. And this was a new experience with QiqoChat. I knew about QiqoChat, I played with it a little bit, but yeah, so that's who I am coming to you from Canada.
Thanks, Richard. Thank you very much for that introduction. Now, my name is Arun Wakhlu. I'm based in Pune, India, and have been using facilitation, art of hosting, and open space for many, many years, and more than 20 years. However, I've always been intrigued by the question of how do we really do this online? And I mean, I knew that we could do it. I had heard of QiqoChat earlier, but then I was recently just typing out open space online, and I got to know about Elevate Works and Collaborate Ways, and that's how I got to meet Richard. And we were planning a conference called Education Today, Society Tomorrow, which was supposed to be a face-to-face conference, and because of COVID, we had to get it online. And I requested Richard for help. He had done a peace conference on QiqoChat earlier for Rotary, and he happily accepted, and he happily came inside, and his team came inside, for which we're very grateful. The other thing I just want to tell you, and then we'll get into the stories, is the conference was for educators and leaders, all about how can we create a compassionate work together? How can we create a compassionate world together? So I'll just show you a few slides. If I can just share my screen and show you a few slides. Just give me a moment, please. I'm just going to open up so that, you actually get a feel of the whole story. And so basically the conference was about creating a compassionate world together. I'm just trying to slideshow and okay. So it was about creating a compassionate world together, and 3 organizations got together: Initiatives of Change, Nexus of Good, Charter for Compassion. The most important thing is that it was for teachers and educators, and the people who helped Richard and me and all of us to put it together was the tech team. Many of them who are here, they were all volunteered by schools, by the different schools who were participating. And they just came in there from class 9, class 10, and we were absolutely bowled over by the way that Richard taught them about QiqoChat, how they helped people get on board, how they help people to navigate their thing, and we all had a fantastic time. So I'm just going to show you one more slide and then request Richard to talk more about it. So Initiatives of Change, Nexus of Good, and Charter for Compassion worked on it. And basically we were trying to get people to have authentic and honest conversation. How can we really online, how can we have authentic, honest conversations? Many people had doubts. They said, sorry, who's Malati? Are you there?
Yeah. Sorry, Arun.
Okay. Hearty welcome. No, hearty welcome, Malati. Malati and I were the course directors, and she'll also share a bit. So compassion, I think there's one thing the world needs. It is compassion today, whether it's the United States or whatever. And we need integration. We need working with each other, honestly and openly working with each other. And because of COVID, we can't meet and conferences are difficult. So QiqoChat gave us that opportunity. And it is the children who are the future of the world. We said, okay, let them help us with the technology. And one thing in the conference that really bowled over the principals and leaders and teachers was that young children were actually helping us to do the whole thing. We also had people from 12 countries, and this is the volunteer team. Many of them are here. Sumukh is here, Reva is here, Avanti is here, and they're from Malati School. And when the teachers realized that it is these young people working with Richard and Ard and me who are helping in the back end, that we didn't have to say anything more. They said the future does indeed belong to young people. So I'm going to stop here and invite Richard and Malati to share a bit more, and then I'll share again. Yeah? Yes, please. So Malati, hearty welcome. Just tell us a bit about yourself, and then we can get started. Yeah.
Well, we run a lot of institutes, and I do all this work voluntarily. And I've been doing this work for the past 30 years. And we started off with 35 children, and these children belong to Karnataka, a state in India. And these were immigrants from Karnataka who moved to Maharashtra state, and they had no school after 7th standard. So the members of the Kannada Sangha, they decided to start a school. So we started the school, and I heard during that time, it was started in '63, that they went door to door, they sold newspapers, they collected money, and they built a school. And we've still maintained this compassion. The school was started on compassion, and we still run it that way. And today we have 8,200 students, and we are catered from kindergarten to post-graduation. So this is the journey, and I've been in this associated with this organization for the past 30 years. And one of our guiding principles is creating a safe and caring environment. So since there has been a seed of compassion right from the beginning, we care for our students, and I'm so happy to see quite a few of our students who have volunteered to be on the technical team and have spent their time quite creatively and quite usefully. In fact, I thank one of the students who helped me to get onto this Zoom meeting too. So that has been a real pleasure. And in India, what happens is getting across to schools has been very, very difficult, and trying to share best practices is difficult. But I think this QiqoChat has been able to get so many of us educators together to work on a theme called compassion. And that has been a great learning for Arun and for me. We were amazed at the response that we got for this online conference. And we are so blessed to have connected with QiqoChat. Thank you very much.
Malati, and I would add, we are also blessed to be connected with Richard and his team. So Richard, over to you.
And in fact, Arun, if I can just add a word about Richard, just today, we were asked to do a parenting program for parents of children with learning disabilities. and they belong to the underprivileged community. And they asked us that English will not do, so you will have to speak either in Marathi or in Hindi. So I asked them, what are the needs? What is it? So they told me that these parents feel that because their children are unable to learn, that they are sort of neglecting them emotionally, and the confidence and esteem of these children is very low. So I was telling, see, at the conference, we had Richard doing that session on taking an object and slowly, very minutely, mindfully observing it. I said, let's have that activity first. So thanks to Richard. Just today we spoke, Vijayam, Jyoti, and myself. Yeah.
Thank you, Malati. Yeah, Richard, over to you.
Thanks. I guess the maybe start into the conference beginning a little bit. What was really unique about this conference in many ways is the lead time. Arun contacted me 3 weeks before this. And what was interesting was there was a full yes by everybody about this conference with this short lead time, huge learning curve, everything to put together in 3 weeks. But we didn't actually start. We had a conversation for a week first about whether it was a right and a little bit about the design, and then we started. So we had 2 weeks to go. And I actually did not know QiqoChat. I knew I had done conferences in Zoom, but not QiqoChat. So our team learning curve was strong, also was really high. The participants was high, the tech team was high. This was only able to do this with a full yes by everybody. And the other thing that was unique in this conference about the participants is the walking the talk of compassion. There was no complaints. We had little errors along the way, changes in decisions and everything else, but there was just gratitude that we could all come together in this conference in such a short time. So it was, that was unique. And what Malati had talked about is we had also put this inside a genuine contact container. I'm a genuine contact facilitator, genuinecontact.net. And the first day we did this connection process. The second day we started into open space, second and third day, and some convergence on the fourth day, and a closing. So it was process facilitated overall, but open space technology in the middle. And this connection process at the beginning, I think I've used it a few times in the online space, really helps the connection of the participants, them adjusting to the process of the technology and connection before you get into the open space. So those were some of my reflections right off the bat. And Arun and I connected like it was we kept on saying, this was divine. Everything clicked, everything came together. The connection between everybody that showed up to work on this was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Richard. I'll just add, one of the things we also had is that we had people from Pakistan coming in. We had people from, in Canada, from the Netherlands, from Sweden, from Australia, from Indonesia, and because of the way QiqoChat is structured, it actually felt we were actually in a hall. And from the hall, we'd walk into different rooms. So that's actually how it felt. And it feels psychologically that you're in a main room, just like in open space, and you're going to different rooms. And in the room, there's someone from Melbourne coming in, and someone from Sweden coming in, and somebody from Pakistan. And we're sitting in a very cozy environment. And I had to keep reminding myself again and again that you're sitting in Pune in your study. You're not in Melbourne, you're not in Pakistan, you're not, because the atmosphere was amazing. And three other things I would, and then I'll request the tech team to also share a few experiences, then we'll take some questions. We showed some live music from the YouTube by a person called Nemo Patel, and also a person called, anyway, so Nemo Patel and another person. And then, so we showed the video, and then we got them in from San Francisco to talk to the audience. So that was amazing. And people saw these beautiful songs, and then they actually talked to the musician. So that was incredible. The other thing is we had meditation sessions. We had an interfaith prayer meeting in which people of different religions, I think about 10 or 15 different religions, they talked their different prayers. We had quiet time. We had singing, participants singing, singers singing, and a lot of quiet time also. So I think these were some of the new things that we did. I just want the tech team to quickly share their experience of the conference. What did we do? And I agree with Richard, it was one of the steepest learning curves I've come across. And I just want to share with you something that a guy called Peter Block has said. He said the answer to how is yes.
That's great.
Answer to how is yes.
Arun, I'm wondering if you could also, one of you would share your screen and orient us to the conference space, what it looked like, and
okay.
how many rooms you set up.
Okay, Richard,
I can share it too if you like.
I mean, either way. I mean, I also have it, Richard. Lucas, why don't you share some screenshots? But I have some, Richard. If you maybe Lucas, you show them, and Richard can talk about them, and then we'll hear the tech team also.
And also the beautiful thing of going in and out on your own, you know, you could leave the rooms as per your will. That was another beautiful.
Yeah, as an open space, yes. So Lucas, would you share some, or do you want me to share some screenshots?
Oh, it'll take me a moment to pull up the page. Richard, do you already have it available?
I have. Let me pull it up and.
Sorry, I have some screenshots, but I'm not. It was we did this within Arun's account, and so I'm not.
Okay, so let me then just share a few things.
Great.
So I will share it. Just give me a moment, but I'd request Richard to speak about it. So here we go. I'm just going to share this, and so here's the main room, and Richard will tell you more about it. Main room. Just a minute. I'm coming to the main.
Arun, this
here
is
we are.
This is the PowerPoint, not the QiqoChat room. This is your slides.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Is this there? Yeah. I was just showing them the main room.
Yep.
This is the main room, PowerPoint and things on the left, and of course here is the QiqoChat thing. So you could. And I have one more after this, but you can talk about it, and yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, one of the things we had several design choices as we went into this and how are we going to do this, and we had almost like 3 very distinct meetings over the 4 days. There was this first day that was going to be plenaries, and then we were into open space for the second and third day. And then we were into some open space convergence, as well as some more plenaries and the music and everything else. So we decided to have 3 separate QiqoChat meetings. We did that so that we could set up the room in advance, specifically for that first day. And then for the second, third day, set up the open space. And then the 4th day set up something different. So there was 3 different meetings over the 4 days. And the design that came from Arun was a morning and an evening session with a gap in between. So 3 hours in India morning, happened to be about midnight my time, and then at 7:30 my time in the next morning. So it was a different sleep. So what you're seeing here is some of the design choices. You're seeing an agenda on this particular slide. You're seeing some of the breakouts. In terms of the agenda creation, it was quite some unique design choices because we wanted the participants to, in the moment, just like open space, create an agenda. So we created a spreadsheet with the times and the topic within it and the time zones, because we're dealing with multiple time zones. But we created this agenda so that we could copy these topics with the times, and through the QiqoChat process automatically put it into rooms. So we had one room per topic with those rooms already set up with reports and other slides in there on tabs. So it wasn't one room was used multiple times. That room was there through the length of the 2-day open space. So when we pasted into the room, it went in with the time as well as the topic. So now from an open space perspective, you could see all the sessions. You've got like an agenda board. As you scroll down the left, you could see the various times and days of with the topics. And when the session was done, participants could actually go back to those rooms, see the topics, and look at the reports, etc. So you had this breaking news wall, all that scrolled down the left. So we had about 30 or 40 over the couple days breakout sessions. Maybe it was less than that. But we had those down the left. And if we had new topics with what our decisions they had to go at the bottom of the list. So it started off in order, but if there was new sessions, they had to go at the very bottom. But it worked extremely well in terms of a design.
Yeah, and just adding on to that, we had we had a dummy run, then we had a playful learning event before the main conference, and during the main conference in the early morning. We would start at 9, but from 8 to 9, you just invited people to come on board and see what's happening. So we had a dummy run, then we had a playful learning run, and then a morning run before the main conference, so that people were getting familiar. In this, the tech team played a fantastic role of helping people. And so I would like them to speak for a while, and then we'll come back to any questions. Yes.
I'll just also speak to that and the tremendous help of the tech team also. One of the things that we requested from Arun was that the participants only came in with desktop or laptop. And not smartphone or tablets, because it was difficult to navigate between the QiqoChat and the Zoom. Well, this group was way too passionate about attending. Many of them didn't have laptops or things. So, 30, 40 participants says, I'm coming anyway, and so we had to accommodate them. So the tech team was instrumental in helping us find solutions for those users that didn't have maybe a big grasp on technology. They were new to the online environment, new to Zoom, new to QiqoChat, coming in with a smartphone, and they did a tremendous job of bridging that. Without them, we could not have accommodated many of those users on the smartphones and tablets in particular.
Very true, very true. Thanks, Richard. Yeah, so let's hear the tech team briefly, and then we'll see if there are any questions. Yes, tech team, please speak up briefly.
I would like to go first. Am I audible?
Yeah. Go ahead, Sumuk. Yeah.
Okay, so our work, I would describe it as it was very it was a great learning. It was a great learning experience. First of all, I didn't know QiqoChat before. Just for the conference, I went through the QiqoChat platform. I saw that it had a huge potential, meaning that just like the way in which conferences are held physically, we can do it here in form of breakout rooms, and we can create breakout rooms on our own choice. And the open space technology itself was very interesting, because we had our own choice whether we have to participate in one of the conferences or to move on, where no one is there to question us. Even if we left, no one will question us why you left or what is the reason for it. So it is one of the advantages. Second thing, I would like to share the experience about the conference. So we had about 120 people, 120 participants. So it was a great experience. So what we had done, what we observed is that before the conference, we saw that most of the people had some issues with their laptops. Either they did not have laptops, or they had desktops which did not have webcams. So such problems were there. So for which we went through QiqoChat. Especially I saw Lucas sir's videos, lot of videos which were online on YouTube, and learned again and again what is this software, how it works, the QiqoChat. And then we saw that there is also an we can say there is a feature available such that without going through QiqoChat, we can log into breakout rooms. So we use that, and we used to send emails to participants saying that if you are not able to join breakout rooms through QiqoChat, then here is the meeting ID and password. Enter this directly on Zoom so that you can enter into the meeting room, whichever you want. So this was one of the tasks which we completed, and I think our technical team was very much successful in that. And we were able to communicate at each and every step whether we had any changes in the breakout rooms, because for some problems, some of the hosts of the breakout rooms, they did not want to host their meeting. So we used to notify all the participants that such a breakout room is cancelled, go to any other room. So these were the tasks which were assigned to us, and I think we did them well. So that's it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sumuk. Avanti, Reva, any other quick comments, Varad? And then we'll interact with the other guests. Yeah.
The whole working with QiqoChat has been like different during the lockdown, and all the event that we put was a team effort. Like we were very quick as a team. If I couldn't do something, I'll tell somebody else, and it was done the second minute. So that worked very smoothly, and so we could carry out everything. And even like Sumuk said, I went through the whole QiqoChat platform and studied it before the conference. So we were able to help the participants. But the main thing was participants wanted to join; they were very eager. So that was main part. So that is why you could help them. If they were not interested, they would just quit or something. But they were interested, and they So that was something very nice.
Very nice. Thank you. Thank you. Avanti and Varad, briefly, anything?
Just adding to what Avanti said. Hello, am I audible?
Yes. Go ahead. Go ahead. Yeah. Go ahead.
Just adding to what Avanti said, I believe teamwork was very great. Like, we didn't mess up with each other's things. Like, if Avanti wanted me to edit something in the QiqoChat platform, I used to do that, or Reva used to do that. And anything about the emails, Avanti used to do that.
Yeah.
So it
very
was
nice.
Very efficient.
Excellent. Also, if you notice, thanks Lucas for showing us this, but there's a help desk there. There was a help desk in which the tech team was sitting there. They asked for feedback also. And we also had a gratitude cafe. Very interesting. We had kept a room for the gratitude cafe. So anyone who wanted to write something, what are we grateful for? They were all just pouring in. They would go into that room and write gratitude. So, lots of gratitude for QiqoChat, for ETST, for Richard, for the tech team. And, that was a very beautiful part. And we also had butterfly cafes, a few places where if you just wanted to hang out with someone, you can just go and sit there. Yes. And Avanti, anything want to add?
No.
And then I just want to add one more thing.
Sir, actually it was Avanti who spoke earlier. And
oh, sorry, Reva
who was...
Reva, yeah. Reva, you tell us.
So, if I have to describe this whole journey we went through, I would just say it was a mesmerizing learning experience, more than working experience. Yeah, because the exposure QiqoChat is providing you, it's providing you so many features. And then Richard sir taught us so many things about QiqoChat. Me and Varad learned how to set up the meeting, how to set up the event. And then we were ushering people.
Yes.
I mean, that was the time when I learned what patience is, because there were some moments when we were like ushering a single person for like 45 minutes how to get onto QiqoChat and all. Yeah, and we just
Excellent,
had to
excellent.
put the whole show up in like 2 weeks or something. So I think faith is what pushed us and helped us to go onto it and to achieve whatever we have. So, and more than half of the
Beautiful,
time I
beautiful.
was using Arun sir's account to get onto Qiqo. I think you get a good feeling, having the control over everything on QiqoChat and all. So yeah, it was just fun and a lot of learning there.
Yeah. At one point, I was wondering how come I suddenly got a double in this QiqoChat, because I from somewhere, and then I discovered it was Reva Gandhi who was using my. I was like, I think faith is incredible. I mean, I hardly knew Richard before this conference. I didn't know the tech team before the conference. Of course, Malati and I have worked together. But just that faith, the trust, working from a deeper sense of compassion and love, and deep concern for people and wanting to give your best, I think that made the magic happen. And of course, QiqoChat, the structure of the.
Did we lose Arun?
Well, one question that I would...
Also, yes, please, go ahead. Please go ahead.
Oh, Arun, if you could repeat something, whatever you had said in the last 15 seconds or so, it cut out for a moment.
Okay. Saying that the three things were important in the magic that happened. One, made faith in each other, in life. I didn't know who Richard Schultz was. I didn't know anything about LAX. I didn't even know that we got together. There was so much trust, so much faith and responsiveness that it was amazing. That was one. Second thing, the very nature of open space is extremely liberating. And people are so inspired by this one that now they want a global youth conference with 1,000 young leaders from all over the world using open space.
So one question that I would add would be, as you were designing this event, what challenges did you have? Specifically, from my perspective, you were the first conference that had a large number of people that might have internet connectivity challenges. So I'm wondering if you made any design decisions that were how you designed the event, or also another interesting question would be, because this was a multicultural event, an international event, what interesting things jumped out at you by bringing people together from different cultures?
Okay, Richard, you want to address that?
Well,
the second question.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah, Lucas and I had talked about this a little bit. That was one of my concerns is the performance. How could we do anything about that? And one of the things, the design choices was Lucas was able to do a Kiko Lite, so there was less bandwidth, and he implemented that for us. So,
right. Thank you.
At least I think he did. That we talked about it, so that was good because it was transparent to me, right? The other thing that I try to do in every online open space is you can never rely completely on the technology. So backup. You don't know if a participant's going to go in and somehow delete a report if it's in a room. That can happen. It doesn't happen in physical open spaces as much, but it can happen as you enter it into the computer. But nobody usually goes around and rips up the paper reports. So back up that. We had myself and Ad van Roosmalen as facilitators. So we had backup facilitators. That was absolutely needed because I was dealing with night shifts for 4 nights he was dealing with his family situation as well, and birthdays and anniversaries. So that was the other thing about, that was unique about this in the COVID-19 is even the participants were challenged, and the law of 2 feet hopefully helped them in the second and third day, but they had their lives and their family all around them during that time. They were in lockdown. We were all in lockdown. So so it wasn't just the performance, it was how do we perform in our lives as this is going on in our houses and maybe in small rooms. I don't know if everyone had a space that they could go to. It was live everywhere, the open space, so that was cool. So
absolutely.
The biggest decision maybe on performance and things was again the tech team to be able to help those individuals with performance issues as a facilitator to hold the space without that design team to help them and hold their hands. They said they learned, I think it was Reva said she learned patience from this conference and helping people, and they spent sometimes an hour with people. I happen to learn patience in India, so maybe I can understand that you could learn patience here because India taught me patience.
Thank you, Richard. Malati, anything to add? I just have something to say, but Malati, anything to add in terms of cross-cultural insight or anything?
The main thing was, we are grateful to Richard and to Ad, because the time zone is something which we felt we need to take care of when it's an international activity or a program. So Richard was there for us all the time. So we don't know, whether it was night for him or day for him. And the same with Ad. And even the team, they were available for us all the time. So that was amazing. The support we got.
Yeah, and also I this is a book that my father and I wrote called One Wholesome World, and it mentions QiqoChat inside it, but it was written several years back. I think cross-culturally we found that just like there is no such thing as Dutch silence or Canadian silence or Pakistani silence or Indian silence, just being silent together in quiet time was a unifying force. I mean, the lady Margaret Hepworth in Australia is sitting silently. Johanna Bollin is sitting silently. Mushtaq in Karachi is sitting silently. And that silence was a very powerful binding force for us to come together, number one. Number two, in open space, it's literally like the sky. There is no agenda. We are not trying to push a certain agenda of the left or the right or this philosophy, that philosophy, or this religion. It's wide open like the sky. And because it's wide open like the sky, I mean, all thoughts, all cultures, all insights, all ideas are welcome. And that's what the world needs right now. To be open in your heart to all kinds of thoughts, all kinds of ideas, all kinds of feelings with deep understanding and compassion. And I think that was the key of one of the keys of the success of the conference. Any other questions? Any questions from anyone else? Or
I would like to answer Lucas sir's question. So
yes, please.
From my experience, yes, what said Lucas sir was in India, and yes, in general we have a lot of internet issues. So how we dealt with that is that if any of the participants had any problems, we used to ask them for a screenshot. Whether it was a laptop or a phone or the tablet which they used, we used to ask them for a screenshot, and we used to tell them to send it to us via WhatsApp or email, and then we used to guide them to further steps. That was one step which we used. Second thing is that internet connectivity is a huge issue everywhere. So when we talk to the participants, we get an idea whether it was a problem of internet from our side or from their side. So we used to tell them to either switch devices. We used to tell them to suggest them instead of use a mobile phone, or instead of using a laptop, use a desktop for which you could have better internet connections. So it is the second way through which we dealt internet problems.
Sure.
Yes, that's it.
Thank you, Sumuk. Any questions from Sandra or Alex or David, or Lucas, anything else? Because
I have one question concerning these breakout sessions. We will have an out of hosting training in the near future in our academy, and we usually had this out of hosting training in our it's a kind of castle outside of Vienna where it takes place, but unfortunately now it's not possible, and so we will have it in online. Yeah, is it possible to name the breakout sessions like the real rooms in our building?
Yes,
yes,
you can, ma'am. Yes,
you can.
You
can actually name it and put the photographs of the rooms in that breakout room.
Okay.
Yes.
But this only functions not with QiqoChat, not with Zoom, right?
No, with QiqoChat.
With QiqoChat. Okay.
Yeah. So what QiqoChat does is that it Zoom is the basis, but on top of Zoom is a shell that helps us to do open space stuff. So, for example, name one room in your castle where people sit. Actually, name it.
Okay, it's called Stockholm room.
Stockholm. So Stockholm can be a breakout room, and a picture of Stockholm can also be in that room. In fact, that's one thing which I learned. You see, we used to have this conference in Asia Plateau. We had a Mami room, and we had a foyer, and we had the Australia room, and we had and we should have actually named the breakout rooms exactly like that: the Mami room, the foyer. So you can literally map your castle onto the QiqoChat breakout rooms with the pictures.
So, yeah, just now you can see the butterfly cafe. So you can see this is the butterfly room.
Okay.
So like that, you can.
Oh, that's nice. So we could also have a breakout session in the garden, and I put a picture of the garden of our.
Yes. And you can even have it by a spring or a buck or whatever. I mean, it's your imagination.
Okay, that
beautiful
sounds
idea,
great.
because those who have attended it in your castle will get the same feel that I'm in this Platz, or I'm in this cafe, or I mean, I'm sitting here or sitting there. Beautiful. It's possible.
Okay,
like
then may I ask
go
another
ahead.
question? Because
Please.
We are always taught that it's so sitting always on the screen, it's so challenging for everybody. What were your time slots? Like you also said you had some time where you were just resting, or how did you organize that?
Excellent. So we had a main session from 9 India time to 12. Segment 1, 9 to 12. And the second one was from, I think, 4 to 7. 4 to 7. And in between, we had kept noble silence. I mean, here, Lucas is putting up there for you. You can see it on the screen. 9 to 12 was segment 1. Segment 1 was 9 to 12. Then we had noble silence in between. That be quiet in between. Be quiet. Eat your lunch mindfully. Be silent in between. And then again 4 to 7. And in between, Sandra, we had music. We had little films. We had a quiet time. We had breakouts. So it was, nobody got tired. Nobody got tired.
Okay. And even though between 12 and 4 p.m. the people were online, or they were in their garden?
No. They were in their garden eating
in their
apples,
beds, in their bathroom, wherever.
Yeah. And even during 9 to 12, if somebody wanted to go to the bathroom or have an apple or have a sandwich, because of open space, they could do that.
Okay. Or even if, you can turn your camera off and. Okay.
Exactly.
I was monitoring the conference from New York, and it might have been 3 a.m, and I knew there was 100, 120 people online, and I just saw everything on the server side just stop, and I was like, oh no, what went wrong? And then I go look at the calendar and I see that it's quiet time. I'm like, wow, they really are doing it.
May I really tell you that when I'm looking at this schedule and the agenda and everything, it looks so well organized. I can't believe it that you have organized this within a few weeks, because it's so structured and looks really
But there is
great.
a lot of experience. Malati, Richard, myself, we have 30, 40 years of experience.
Okay.
So I think that helped. And of course, the enthusiasm of our tech team helped. And of course, most important, it was the divine grace. The divine grace that helps.
I don't want to bother you, but may I ask another question? How did you, as a team, like sitting, I heard Canada, New York City, India, how did Australia, as the hosting team, how did you stay in contact? Did you have like a hosting team room, or did you communicate via WhatsApp, or how did you stay in contact? Because you cannot communicate all the time in the main session where everybody's listening.
So
Malati, Richard, anyone? Malati first and then Sumuk.
Every day we had a setup meeting. So if we met up after the program, at the end of the day, we met to discuss how the day went, and we were able to take it forward. And before we started off with the conference also, we had several meetings and to discuss the technology part and how to work up. So that way we were in touch with Richard and Ad, and so that's what we did.
And WhatsApp also. We had a WhatsApp group.
We had a WhatsApp.
Yes. Majorly when we need to make an international call. Like it's not possible for us every time to make an international call to Richard, sir, which was very much needed. So we did a WhatsApp call to connect to him, and I remember that we had nights to prepare we had spent nights to prepare the QiqoChat page, and it was just fun working.
WhatsApp was really important for us to communicate. There was a participants WhatsApp, so there was this dialogue going on there also, as well as a coordination team WhatsApp, where we could coordinate things also in the moment and make calls with each other. And that was, for me, that was good and bad, because sometimes I'd try and catch a nap at 3 in the morning my time, and I would get a call from the tech team who was needing some help, and forgot to turn off my phone. But it was fun. It was really fun. Working with the tech team and everybody.
Good. Yeah, and we would also, Sandra, be quiet together. Very important. I mean, we would actually take quiet time together. I think one of the most important things during the conference, in the tech team, in our team, was to be quiet together. Because then you calm your mind, you open your heart, and you start getting open to grace and to the power of the divine spirit working through you. And I think it was blessed. And all the participants felt that. They felt that. And I think open space is designed for allowing spirit to enter our lives. It just is designed like that. And of course, QiqoChat was so helpful. And Lucas, thank you for your interest. I mean, he joined the play meeting, he joined the dummy meeting, and he'd pop up there, says everything okay. And then I think really grateful to Lucas also for his support.
Yeah,
I mean, at the end of the day, huge gratitude, and all the participants also, huge gratitude. Richard, you were saying something.
No, I was just also going to say, really reiterate the support we got from Lucas. Lucas was a full yes too, so everybody coming in with this full yes was really interesting. And the other interesting thing I noticed over the 4 days is as you watched the learning curve and the insights that the participants were getting, the first day, they were just amazed. Zoom, QiqoChat, look what we can do. Just all this was about the technology and the ability to connect and the ability to come into a conference that they'd wanted to attend for 20 years but couldn't. So the access to each other, it was all about the technology. But after the open space started, the conversation started to talk about, what is this open space? Isn't this amazing? What of the capability? How do we move open space into the classroom and things? So the conversation shifted as became more aware of the power of open space and what could be done with it. So more questions opened up about that. It was really wonderful to see this transition of the learning and the insights of the participants and as well as our team.
To add to it, I remember Lucas sir used to join us and join the help desk and ask us what's happening, is everything right? I know I was there quite a few times on the help desk.
And Sandra and Axel and David, if we can be of any service, all of us in helping you design whatever. But incidentally, I've attended the Art of Hosting at Alpbach in Austria.
Oh, you were in one of our most beautiful places.
Alpbach was fabulous, fabulous. So I've done the Art of Hosting there, of course, besides the earlier work. So I'm very happy to share.
Okay, thank you very much.
Most welcome, most welcome. Good. Anything else, David, Axel? Any questions?
Where is the best place to contact you, Arun?
Well, we will send you our email IDs. In fact, why don't we just type them into the chat box, all of us, and then you can. So I'm putting mine into the chat box, and I'm requesting all of us, including the tech team, to do the same, please. And Lucas will have all these IDs, but still, I will give you a quick ready reference. And yes.
Excellent. And I will take the recording today and I will share it with everyone who attended. And I'll also share Arun and Malati and Richard's contact information.
Certainly, certainly. Thank you,
Thank
Lucas.
you very much.
Thanks
May I
a
have
lot.
a last question concerning like all these nice screenshots that you shared with us? Would it be possible to get one or two just in from your
Yeah.
Oh, that would be nice. Thank you.
Sure. You drop an email and I'll send you some screenshots. No problem at all.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Very interesting.
Most welcome. And Lucas, thank you. Let's give Lucas a big hand for organizing this. I think we really happy to have your support and facilitating this. Really nice. And thank you, tech team, Reva, Avanti, Varad, Sumuk, for joining. I mean, they are the real stars of the conference. Because they convinced adults that young people from class 9 and 10 can master QiqoChat. And that's it. We didn't have to say anything after that.
They took over. They took charge.
They took over. And I must tell you this. As a result of this conference, many principals, including Malati, said, I'm going to give more charge and more power to my children and to my young people.
Yes.
And I'm going to use open space. Amazing. So we have to be grateful to Master COVID also for me. Otherwise, this wouldn't have happened.
And I loved how you said it, Arun. Open space is designed for allowing spirit to enter our lives.
Yes.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. And QiqoChat is designed to allow open space to enter our lives online. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone. So namaste. All good wishes.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks
Bye.
a lot.
Take care.